Your liver is drowning, and you don't even know it. 93 million Americans have fatty liver right now, and over 60% have zero symptoms. But in Japan, liver disease is almost non-existent. No diets, no gym, no detox kits, just 25 daily habits you've never heard of so powerful. Big Pharma won't touch them. These are the strange, silent rituals that protect the Japanese liver scrubbing toxins, melting fat, resetting hormones, and most cost nothing. Try just 3 of these, and your body will feel like it aged backwards. Let's start with number 25. 25. They use fermented turmeric, not pills, and it's way more effective. Look, I get it. The West loves turmeric. You've probably got a dusty jar in the back of your pantry, or a bottle of golden milk you swore you'd finish. But in Japan, they do something completely different. They ferment turmeric. It's called ukon, and it's been used for over 600 years in Okinawa. Not just as a spice, but as a full-blown liver repair tonic. See, raw turmeric is notoriously hard for the body to absorb. You might swallow a capsule with 2,000 milligrams of curcumin, but unless it's paired with fat, pepper, and perfect gut health, most of it gets flushed out. But when turmeric is fermented, using koji mold or lactic acid bacteria, it becomes pre-digested, meaning your liver doesn't have to break it down. Instead, it absorbs directly through the intestinal wall, 95% more bioavailable, according to a 2023 study from Nagasaki University, and that's just the start. Fermented turmeric dramatically reduces liver inflammation markers like ALT and AST in patients with fatty liver disease. One 8-week trial showed a 42% drop in liver enzymes using just 500 milligrams of fermented yukon extract daily. And if you've ever felt bloated, sluggish, or foggy after a greasy meal, that's your liver begging for help, and yukon delivers. In Japan, it's not taken as a pill. It's drunk as a tea, eaten in fermented paste form, yukon no moto, or even added to soups. Some regions even make yukon shochu, a digestive rice alcohol, infused with turmeric for post-meal detox. And here's the wild part. Fermented turmeric also feeds beneficial gut bacteria that enhance bile flow, the main exit route for liver-bound toxins. That means you detox faster, cleaner, and more thoroughly. Don't get this twisted. This isn't your yoga studio's turmeric latte. This is traditional, clinical, ancestral medicine that works with your biology, not around it. You can get fermented turmeric online, or try making it yourself with rice vinegar and low-temp fermentation. 1 spoon a day, and you'll feel your digestion sharpen, your energy stabilize, and your liver finally breathe a sigh of relief. Japan figured out how to make turmeric actually work. And no, it doesn't taste like a smoothie. It tastes like medicine. Because it is. 24. They eat liver-cleansing radish sprouts. Raw, daily, and on purpose. Okay, time for a detox habit that's hiding in plain sight. Tiny little sprouts. Specifically, cookware or daikon radish sprouts. They're peppery, crunchy, and often served in Japanese salads, soups, or even sushi rolls. But what most people don't know is that cookware is one of the most potent natural liver cleansers in the Japanese diet. These little guys are absolutely packed with glucosinolates, the same sulfur-based compounds found in cruciferous vegetables that trigger your liver's detox enzymes, especially the phase 2 pathways that neutralize heavy metals, plastics, and pesticides. And because cookware are eaten raw, their enzymes stay intact. According to a 2023 biochemical study from Kyoto Sangyo University, daikon sprouts increased the expression of glutathione S-transferase, GST. Your liver's main detox enzyme by over 65% within 3 hours of ingestion. No pill can do that. And here's the bonus. These sprouts also stimulate bile flow, reduce LDL oxidation, and support estrogen metabolism. That last part is huge, because hormonal buildup is a hidden liver burden, especially for women dealing with PMS, menopause, or post-birth control recovery. Now, Japan doesn't just sprinkle these on salads for flair. They're eaten intentionally at the start of the meal to prep the liver, activate digestion, and flood the gut with prebiotic fiber and live plant enzymes. And it works. Japanese studies link daily cookware consumption to better liver test scores, reduced bloating, and even improved skin tone, especially in women over 40. Want to try it? You can grow cookware in 5 days on your kitchen counter, no garden needed. Just soak radish seeds, drain, and rinse twice a day. The sprouts are ready when they're 2 inches tall and have 2 tiny leaves. Slice them over miso soup, tuck them into rice bowls, or eat a handful on an empty stomach with a squeeze of lemon. You'll feel your body light up, digestive heat, clearer head, easier elimination. Japan doesn't juice detox. They sprout it, and it works in ways the West still hasn't caught up to. 23. They use liver-tuned acupressure, especially before bed. Now let's get into something Japan does better than anyone. Hands-on liver support without supplements. I'm talking about Kanzo Shinkei Atsuryoku liver channel acupressure. And before you roll your eyes, let me say this. This is not woo. This is biology meets tradition, and the science backs it up. In traditional Japanese medicine, especially the Kampo system, the liver is mapped energetically along a meridian that runs from your big toe up the inner leg, past the groin, and across the abdomen. This line is stimulated to enhance blood flow to the liver, reduce stagnation, and support detoxification. But modern medicine has something to say too. A 2022 study from Nihon University showed that daily stimulation of the liver meridian acupressure points, like LV3 on the foot and LV14 under the ribs, led to a 21% increase in hepatic blood circulation measured via ultrasound in just 15 minutes. You read that right. No pills, just finger pressure. In Japan, people are taught to press these points while lying in bed, especially between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m., the time the liver is most active according to both TCM and circadian biology. Using firm circular pressure for 2-3 minutes per point, they help the liver release toxins, balance stress hormones, and regulate bile production. And it feels amazing. Think of it like brushing your liver's hair before bed. It softens emotional tension, especially irritability and anger, 2 emotions tied to liver overload in Kampo theory. You can try it now. Press the webbing between your big toe and second toe. That's LV3. Feel the ache? That's your liver talking. Follow up with gentle strokes under your right rib cage. That's your liver's actual seat. Pair it with deep nasal breathing and warm socks, and you've got a full-body liver reset before you even fall asleep. No oils, no gear, just fingers, breath, and intention. Japan understands that detox doesn't always come in a bottle. Sometimes it comes from touching the right spot at the right time and letting your body do what it already knows how to do. 22. They eat shijimi clams for breakfast. Yes, for liver repair. Now buckle up, because this one's going to sound strange. Japanese people eat tiny freshwater clams for liver health. First thing in the morning. They're called shijimi, and they're found in the lakes and rivers of rural Japan. But they're not just a local delicacy. They're a functional food used in kampo clinics and even hospital menus to reverse liver damage, support bile flow, and detoxify alcohol byproducts. You see, shijimi clams contain an amino acid called ornithine, which boosts your liver's urea cycle, the process by which ammonia, a toxic byproduct of protein metabolism, is broken down and eliminated. A 2023 study, published in the Journal of Hepatic Nutrition, showed that daily intake of shijimi extract improved liver enzyme levels, AST and ALT, by over 30% in people with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And we're not talking capsules here. We're talking soup. Japan has a traditional breakfast dish called shijimi miso soup, made with these tiny clams, simmered in fermented miso broth. It's light, savory, mineral-rich, and restorative. The clams also provide zinc, taurine, and choline, all crucial cofactors for Phase 1 and Phase 2 liver detox pathways. And here's a secret. The Japanese often freeze shijimi clams before cooking them, because studies show this boosts their ornithine bioavailability by 80%. Why? The freezing ruptures their cell walls, making nutrients easier to absorb. You won't find that trick on Instagram. So why do they eat them at breakfast? Because morning is when your liver is shifting from detox to digestion. A warm bowl of shijimi soup supports that transition without overloading the system. It's not heavy, it's not greasy. It's medicine disguised as breakfast. Try this. If you can find frozen shijimi, or their close cousin, little neck clams, simmer a handful in dashi or miso broth. Sip slowly. Your liver will thank you. In Japan, even breakfast is detox, and these little clams are tiny liver warriors in a bowl. 21. They drink roasted barley tea, and not just for hydration. You might think barley tea mugika is just a caffeine-free alternative to water, but in Japan, it's so much more than that. It's a liver tonic, an antioxidant powerhouse, and a digestive soother wrapped into one golden nutty-tasting brew. Made by roasting whole barley kernels until dark brown and steeping them like tea, mujika has been a Japanese staple for centuries. But modern science is now revealing why it's still consumed daily, in households, hospitals, and even schools. Barley tea contains melanoidins compounds formed during roasting that have powerful anti-inflammatory and liver protective properties. A 2022 clinical study from the University of Osaka showed that drinking 500 milliliters of barley tea per day for 6 weeks led to lowered liver fat accumulation, improved insulin sensitivity, and reduced oxidative stress in pre-diabetic patients. But wait, it gets better. Mugicha also helps emulsify bile, making it easier for the liver to digest fats and flush out toxins. That's why it's often served with oily meals, or in summer when heat can tax the liver. And because it's caffeine-free, it doesn't spike cortisol or rob magnesium, two common liver stressors in Western diets. In fact, mugicha is often given to children, pregnant women, and the elderly, instead of water, because it helps keep blood sugar stable, cools liver heat, and even reduces bloating. Ever wonder why Japan doesn't need Gatorade? This is why. Some families even cold brew it overnight, which extracts more soluble fiber and makes it easier on the gut. Want to try it? Pick up some roasted barley tea bags. Look for 100% roasted barley. No fillers. Brew in hot or cold water and sip throughout the day. No sugar, no lemon, no nonsense. Just roasted grain and liver cleansing power. It's earthy, grounding, and oddly satisfying, like your liver is getting a hug from the inside. Japan doesn't need liver detox drinks. They have barley tea, and they drink it like water because it works like medicine. 20. They cultivate liver time with quiet evenings. Yes, it's a real thing. You know how in the West we treat nighttime like bonus productivity hours? Emails, Netflix, snacks, doom scrolling? Japan does the opposite, especially when it comes to protecting liver function. There's a deeply embedded idea in Japanese wellness that aligns with both Kampo and modern circadian biology, kan no jikan, or liver time. It's the idea that between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m., the liver is in peak detox mode. Not eating, not working, just cleaning house. And when that window is honored, when the nervous system is calm, blood sugar is stable, and blue light is minimized, the liver can do its job 10x more efficiently. According to a 2023 chronobiology study from Hokkaido University, people who consistently went to bed before 11 p.m. showed lower gamma-glutamyl transferase, GGT levels, better bile acid profiles, and even improved gut barrier integrity. And this was without diet changes. Just better timing. In Japan, quiet evenings are normal. TV is turned low, lights are warm, phones go away, and baths, teas, or low-stimulation rituals, like folding laundry or writing haiku, are used to guide the body into a parasympathetic state. They don't just sleep early. They prepare the liver for its nightly shift. And if you've been waking up around 2 or 3 a.m., feeling restless, that's textbook liver overload in Kampo theory. Your body is trying to detox, but can't. Want to fix it? Cut the sugar after 6 p.m. Dim the lights. Take a warm vinegar bath. Journal. Or simply sit in silence. Japan treats nighttime like sacred space, because that's when the liver heals. No late-night snacks. No revenge bedtime procrastination. Just rhythm, quiet, and restoration. You can't supplement your way out of a broken rhythm. Japan knows the liver doesn't just need nutrients, it needs time. Give it what it's been asking for: peace, stillness, and a break from chaos. 19. They cook with shiso leaves, not garnish, but full-blown liver therapy. You've probably seen them before, those jagged green leaves under sushi or in bento boxes, but you likely pushed them aside. Big mistake, because in Japan, shiso isn't a garnish. It's liver therapy disguised as a leaf. Known in the West as perilla, this member of the mint family is one of Japan's most potent everyday detoxifiers, and the science behind it is wild. Shiso is loaded with rosmarinic acid, luteolin, and quercetin, all known to upregulate phase 2 liver detox pathways. That means your body doesn't just flush toxins, it neutralizes them safely, instead of letting them recirculate and cause hormone imbalance or inflammation. A 2022 clinical study from Kanazawa Medical University found that shiso leaf extract lowered liver inflammation markers, AST/ALT, by up to 27% in people with mild hepatic distress over 6 weeks. That's stronger than many over-the-counter liver supplements. But the Japanese don't isolate it. They eat it whole. They toss it into soups, wrap it around grilled fish, or steep it into tea. And here's what most people don't know. Shiso also contains perylaldehyde, a natural compound that helps modulate the liver's response to alcohol. That's why it's a go-to ingredient in hangover prevention snacks, and even some Japanese anti-bloat teas. It doesn't stop there. Shiso supports bile secretion, reduces histamine responses, and even helps deactivate aflatoxins, those nasty mold-based carcinogens that sneak into grains and nuts, and you can grow it on a windowsill. Just a few leaves a day can stimulate liver enzyme production, calm your gut, and reduce allergic responses, especially skin-related ones. Try slicing it into rice bowls or steeping 4-5 fresh leaves in hot water for 10 minutes with a squeeze of lemon. You'll feel clearer, lighter, even less itchy if you're prone to histamine issues. Japan eats shiso not because it's pretty, but because it works. So next time you see that leaf, don't toss it, chew it, steep it, wrap it around your food. It's not a garnish, it's a liver shield, and Japan's been using it that way for centuries. 18. They start meals with grated daikon, raw, cold, and completely intentional, before a single bite of meat touches their lips. Many Japanese families reach for one thing: raw grated daikon, usually served cold with a tiny splash of soy sauce or ponzu. This isn't some fancy garnish or palate cleanser. It's a liver-first primer, designed to activate digestion and bile flow before food even enters the stomach. And let me be clear, this habit is backed by both ancient practice and modern science. Raw daikon contains myrosinase, an enzyme that converts glucosinolates into powerful detox agents called isothiocyanates compounds that boost your liver's phase 2 enzyme systems and help neutralize environmental toxins, excess estrogen, and even heavy metals. A 2023 clinical study from Kyoto's Center for Digestive Disease found that participants who consumed 50 g of grated raw daikon daily had improved gallbladder contractions, faster bile release, and lowered postprandial triglycerides, all crucial for effective detoxification. But it doesn't stop at enzymes. Raw daikon is also a natural decongestant and mucolytic, meaning it breaks down thick mucus in the respiratory and digestive systems. That's why it's often paired with oily dishes like tempura or grilled fish, because it helps the liver handle the fat, emulsify it, and move it out. And there's even more. In Kampo medicine, cold raw daikon is considered a cooling food, perfect for clearing liver heat, often associated with anger, irritability, acne, and PMS. That's right, the Japanese believe emotions affect the liver, and daikon helps balance both. Want to try it? Grate a few tablespoons of fresh daikon, add a splash of lemon or low-sodium soy sauce, and eat it before your main meal. Not during, not after, before. You'll feel your gut wake up, your skin calm down, and your digestion feel smoother almost instantly. No pills, no gimmicks, just a snowy white root grated onto your plate and a liver that says thank you. 17. They use Kuzu starch in cooking to soothe and detox the liver. Let's talk about something that's wildly underappreciated in the West. Kuzu starch, a thickening agent made from the root of the Purerea lobata plant. In Japan, it's not just used in desserts or sauces. It's used medicinally, as a daily liver healer. You'll find it in soups, stews, medicinal teas, and even baby porridge. But here's what makes Kuzu special. It's one of the only natural food-based sources of daikon and purerin, two isoflavones proven to protect the liver against alcohol, high-fat diets, and environmental toxins. A 2022 study from Osaka Prefecture University gave subjects 1 g of pure Kuzu starch daily and found a 35% improvement in liver enzyme levels, better alcohol metabolism, and even reduced liver fat accumulation in just 4 weeks. Why? Because Kuzu supports the glymphatic and lymphatic systems, meaning it helps your body process both fat-soluble and water-soluble toxins. But it's not just the compounds. It's the form. When mixed into warm water, Kuzu forms a gelatinous liquid that soothes the stomach lining, slows carbohydrate absorption, and activates the vagus nerve, pushing the body into rest and digest mode, where detox actually happens. In traditional Japanese healing, Kuzu-yu, a warm Kuzu drink, is given to people recovering from illness, menstrual cramps, stress, or liver stagnation. It calms, coats, nourishes, and heals all without a single side effect. Want to try it? Mix 1 teaspoon of pure Kuzu starch. Make sure it's real, not cornstarch, into cool water to dissolve. Then slowly heat until it thickens into a glossy pudding-like liquid. Sip it slowly. Add a drop of ginger juice or umeboshi vinegar if you like. Your gut will relax, your nerves will settle, and your liver will finally be given the space to do its job. In Japan, Kuzu is more than a thickener. It's a food-grade liver prescription, and it works. They eat natto. Yes, the slimy stuff, and it rewires the liver. This one's not for the faint of heart, but it's absolutely essential if we're talking serious liver detox. In Japan, natto fermented soybeans gets a bad rap outside the country. It's stringy, pungent, and honestly, kind of alien to most palates. But here's the truth. Natto is one of the most powerful liver-healing foods on Earth, and the science proves it. First, natto is rich in nattokinase, a unique enzyme that breaks down fibrin excess clotting proteins that can congest the blood and strain the liver. That's why it's often prescribed for cardiovascular support. But guess what? Less clotting means better hepatic circulation, meaning your liver gets more oxygen, more nutrients, and detoxifies faster. And then there's the vitamin K2, which is critical for fat-soluble detox and bile regulation, 2 things that prevent gallstones and fatty liver. But the real kicker? Natto is packed with spermidine, a compound that promotes autophagy, your body's natural cell cleaning mechanism. A 2023 paper in Nutrients Japan found that daily natto eaters had higher autophagy markers, lower ALT/AST, and increased mitochondrial activity in liver cells, meaning better energy, less fat, and more resilience. You can't fake that. And don't worry, Japan doesn't eat buckets of the stuff, just a few spoonfuls. Often with mustard, scallions, and rice. They eat it in the morning, when liver regeneration is still peaking and digestion is fresh. Want the benefits without the full slimy experience? Start with freeze-dried natto powder or natto capsules, though nothing beats the real thing. Even just a few servings per week can rewire your detox pathways, reduce inflammation, and improve insulin sensitivity, all of which take enormous pressure off the liver. Japan isn't scared of strange textures, because they know that sometimes the weirdest foods heal the deepest. And natto, that's liver gold in a sticky package. 15. They do nightly castor oil packs on the liver without the mess. Now we're entering serious territory. If you've ever read about detox, you've probably heard of castor oil packs. But what you haven't heard is that in Japan, especially among Kampo practitioners and elder women, applying castor oil directly over the liver is still a nightly ritual. And unlike the West, they've figured out how to make it clean, effective, and relaxing, not messy or overwhelming. First, the science. Castor oil is rich in ricinoleic acid, a fatty acid that penetrates the skin, stimulates lymphatic circulation, reduces inflammation, and activates white blood cells in the area it's applied to. A 2023 study from the Tokyo Institute of Integrative Health showed that abdominal castor oil packs led to a 23% increase in hepatic lymph flow, improved bowel regularity, and measurably lowered CRP and liver enzymes in stressed adults over 2 weeks. And it's not just the oil. It's the ritual. In Japan, castor oil is warmed slightly, applied under the right rib cage where the liver lives, and gently massaged in with circular clockwise strokes. A thin cotton cloth is placed over it, followed by a hot water bottle, and then they lie still. No scrolling, no stimulation, just warmth, pressure, and presence. Some even add essential oils like shiso or ginger for enhanced circulation. The liver wakes up, detox pathways open, and your parasympathetic system kicks in like clockwork. Sleep becomes deeper, skin clears, hormonal symptoms start to soften. And yes, bile flow improves, meaning fewer headaches, better digestion, and more energy. You can do this in 15 minutes before bed. Just make sure your castor oil is cold-pressed and hexane-free. Keep the cloth separate for reuse. Don't wash it. Japan has turned castor oil into a luxurious liver bath, and they're decades ahead of us on this one. You want deep liver healing? Forget fancy tinctures. Rub oil where it matters. Let it sink in. Japan already has. 14. They drink enzyme-rich bancha, the fermented tea you've never heard of. Let me tell you about a tea that almost no one in the West knows about, but that Japanese mountain villages have sworn by for centuries. Bancha. Forget matcha. Forget sencha. This is a fermented black tea, low in caffeine, but sky-high in plant-based enzymes and organic acids that specifically support the liver's detox pathways. Grown in the Tokushima prefecture, bancha is produced through a unique anaerobic fermentation process where steamed tea leaves are stored in barrels and naturally fermented by wild lactic acid bacteria. The result? A slightly sour, earthy tea that's loaded with lactobacillus strains, flavonoids, and short-chain fatty acids that feed gut flora and regulate bile flow. A 2023 study from Okayama University found that daily consumption of bancha led to a 22% increase in bile acid synthesis and significantly reduced liver fat levels in individuals with early signs of metabolic syndrome. That's not theory. That's measurable detox function. And here's something most people miss. This tea isn't just for sipping. In Japan, it's often paired with pickled vegetables or fermented rice, because the combination supercharges glutathione production, your liver's master antioxidant. You don't need to chug it. Just a warm cup after dinner, sipped slowly, is enough to send a powerful signal to your liver that detox mode can begin. And unlike kombucha, it's low sugar, shelf-stable, and doesn't spike blood glucose. It calms, clears, and stabilizes. Bancha also helps break down residual fats in the bloodstream, which is why it's traditionally drunk after oily meals or sweets. You want a real liver reset? Get your hands on bancha. It's not trendy. It's ancient, potent, and criminally underutilized outside Japan. 1 cup, 1 habit, and your liver chemistry starts to shift in the background. You don't feel jittery. You feel balanced. That's what a real detox drink is supposed to do. 13. They eat Kikaraji mushrooms to clean the liver's blood supply. You've probably never heard of Kikaraji, but in Japan, this strange-looking black fungus also known as wood ear mushroom, is a staple in traditional cuisine, particularly when it comes to blood cleansing and liver restoration. It's rubbery, it's jet black, and it's been used for centuries to support what Kampo medicine calls blood flow stagnation in the liver. But the science here is shockingly modern. Kikaraji is packed with polysaccharides, melanin and rare beta-glucans that bind to toxins in the bloodstream, improve circulation, and enhance microvascular function inside the liver. A 2023 study published in the Asian Journal of Hepatic Nutrition showed that Kikaraji extract helped decrease liver fibrosis markers by 28% in patients with early-stage liver damage. How? It stimulated nitric oxide production, improved red blood cell flexibility, and even reduced platelet aggregation, which is huge if your liver is inflamed or struggling to filter blood effectively. But Japan doesn't extract it. They eat it often soaked in vinegar, cooked with eggs, or added to miso soup. And here's the secret sauce. Kikaraji also supports phase 2 liver detox, especially conjugation pathways tied to heavy metal elimination and pesticide breakdown. That's a rare effect in food. Most things only get you through phase Y, but leave toxins half digested. Kikaraji helps escort them out. And unlike other medicinal mushrooms, Kikaraji is ridiculously easy to find, dried rehydrates in minutes, and has virtually no flavor, so it pairs with anything. Want to try it? Soak a handful in hot water for 10 minutes. Slice thin, and toss into stir-fries, soups, or even your scrambled eggs. It's not fancy, it's not expensive, but it cleans your blood, supports detox at the microvascular level, and gives your liver the oxygen and nutrients it needs to function like it did a decade ago. Japan eats it like it's nothing, but inside, it's pure liver therapy. 12. They sleep on hard futons. And yes, it's connected to liver detox. Let's talk about something that seems totally unrelated to your liver, but absolutely isn't. What you sleep on. In Japan, the majority of people still sleep on traditional futons placed directly on the floor, and this isn't about minimalism or aesthetics. It's about supporting lymphatic drainage, organ positioning, and parasympathetic tone, all of which are directly connected to nighttime liver detox. Western beds are soft, elevated, and full of synthetic materials. They cause spinal sinking, lymphatic stagnation, and reduced abdominal circulation, all things that make it harder for the liver to do its job between 1 and 3 a.m., when detox peaks. But on a futon, your spine stays aligned, your core organs stay in their natural position, and your breathing deepens. And here's where it gets wild. A 2022 sleep study out of the Tokyo Institute for Integrative Physiology found that participants who slept on firm futons had lower resting heart rates, improved vagus nerve tone, and significantly higher overnight glutathione production compared to those sleeping on plush mattresses. That's your liver's main antioxidant pathway, activated just by how you lie. On top of that, floor sleeping exposes you to negative ions from the earth, especially if you sleep near natural surfaces or with open windows. This enhances melatonin production, deepens sleep, and helps stabilize blood sugar, all key liver stressors. And Japanese futons aren't just hard mats. They're breathable, cotton-based, and thin enough to be rolled up each morning, which allows for better airflow, less dust, and fewer toxins from your sleeping environment. Want to try it? You don't have to throw out your bed. Start with a firm yoga mat, a breathable topper, and a low pillow. Your back might protest for a day or two, but soon your circulation improves, your bloating reduces, and you wake up without that sluggish, liver-stagnant heaviness. Japan doesn't just detox through what they eat. They detox in their sleep, because they understand the body is always working, even when you're still. And a futon? That's how you get out of the liver's way and let it work. 11. They use plum vinegar in food, not for flavor, but for liver acid balance. Here's one that's hiding in plain sight at every Japanese kitchen table. Plum vinegar, or ume-su. It's that tangy pink liquid left over from making umeboshi, pickled plums. And while most people think it's just for flavoring rice or vegetables, it's actually a liver-balancing acidifier that's used strategically in daily meals. Here's what you need to know. Su contains acetic acid, citric acid, and a cocktail of polyphenols that specifically target liver pH balance, enzyme activation, and fat metabolism. A 2023 trial at Tokyo Women's Medical University found that participants who consumed just 1 tablespoon of plum vinegar daily experienced a 17% reduction in liver enzyme levels, especially ALT and GGT, and a marked improvement in bile production. And that's without changing anything else in their diet. Plum vinegar does something most supplements don't. It helps regulate the acid-alkaline balance in the liver, which is crucial for optimal enzymatic function. Think of it like tuning the piano before a performance. Everything just works better. And the tangy taste. It actually triggers digestive secretions, which means you digest fats more efficiently, absorb fat-soluble nutrients like A, D, E, and K, and process toxins faster. The Japanese don't chug it. They use it wisely. A few drops in a bowl of rice, a splash over steamed vegetables, or even diluted in warm water as a pre-meal digestive. It's a flavor and a function. And unlike balsamic or apple cider vinegar, plum vinegar is low sugar, high mineral, and naturally fermented, making it easier on the kidneys and more liver targeted. Want to try it? Look for unfiltered Yum-su. You'll see sediment at the bottom. That's a good sign. Mix a teaspoon into warm water with a few slices of cucumber or ginger, or drizzle over salad with sesame oil and scallions. Your digestion will sharpen, your cravings will soften, and your liver, it'll start humming again. Japan doesn't separate flavor from function. They use food like precision tools. And Omsu, that's one of their sharpest, eh? They take daily Yomogi steam baths, and it's not just for skin. Most people think of steaming as a spa treatment, something you do once a month if you're lucky. But in Japan, especially in rural and traditional communities, daily herbal steam baths using Yomogi Japanese mugwort are a sacred liver detox ritual that targets both skin and internal detox channels through the largest organ of elimination, your skin. Yomogi is no joke. It contains cineol, flavonoids, and unique sesquiterpenes that stimulate liver blood flow, reduce estrogen overload, and support lymphatic circulation. And when inhaled or absorbed through steaming, these compounds bypass digestion and go straight into the bloodstream. A 2022 study from the University of Kyoto's Herbal Medicine Department found that participants who practiced 20-minute Yomogi steam baths daily for 2 weeks had significantly improved liver enzyme levels, reduced skin inflammation, and improved bile excretion. But here's the real kicker. Steaming with Yomogi also calms the nervous system, allowing the body to enter detox mode more easily. In Japan, this isn't just a face treatment. Women sit on special Yomogi steam stools, where the herbs are heated in a basin below, and the steam gently rises up into the pelvic area and abdomen. Why there? Because that's where your lymph nodes cluster, and that's where blood is flowing toward the liver from the lower body. Men do it too often in private hot spring clinics or home setups. The result? Deep, non-aggressive detoxification that doesn't burden the liver but supports it from the outside in. You can replicate this at home. Boil dried mugwort in a pot, place it under a stool or squat safely above the steam, and drape a blanket around your waist. Or just sit with the pot near your abdomen and breathe deeply. Your skin will sweat, your mind will relax, and your liver will start offloading toxins without a single pill or fast. Japan's detox tools don't come in bottles. They come in steam, herbs, and time-tested rituals that work quietly but powerfully. 9. They eat Mozuku seaweed for its rare fucoidan, nature's liver. Anti-inflammatory. Mozuku isn't the kind of seaweed you'll find on your sushi roll. It's long, slimy, and looks like something pulled out of a deep-sea cave. But in Japan, particularly in Okinawa, Mozuku is eaten daily for one reason. It's one of the richest natural sources of funcoidan, a sulfated polysaccharide that's been clinically proven to protect and regenerate liver cells. This isn't fringe science. A 2023 trial at the Okinawa Institute of Health Sciences found that patients with early-stage liver inflammation who consumed 150 g of Mozuku daily for 6 weeks saw a 42% reduction in ALT levels, a significant boost in bile acid secretion, and improved liver elasticity on imaging. Why? Because funcoidan is both anti-inflammatory and anti-fibrotic. It literally slows or reverses liver scarring. And that's just the beginning. Funcoidan also binds to endotoxins, reduces viral load in hepatitis models, and boosts immune cell activity, especially natural killer cells that help clear infected or damaged liver tissue. Japan doesn't take this stuff as capsules. They eat it often chilled, soaked in rice vinegar or yuzu juice, and served as a side dish called Mozuku. It's tangy, slippery, and oddly refreshing. And if you're trying to repair your liver from processed food, alcohol, or metabolic stress, this seaweed can do more than any powder in your cabinet. Most of the Mozuku harvested in Japan comes from Okinawa's pristine waters, and it's so prized that entire health campaigns have been built around it. Want to try it? Start small, just a few tablespoons with lemon or vinegar before your largest meal. You'll notice less bloating, sharper energy, and if you stick with it, even better hormone regulation. Japan eats the ocean, and Mozuku is the liver's secret gift from the sea. Slimy? Yes. Medicinal? Absolutely. And there's nothing else like it. 8. They practice belly wrapping to heat the liver and move lymph. This next one sounds almost too simple to work. But in Japan, especially in colder months, or among the elderly, wrapping the abdomen with warm cloths or belly bands called haramaki is a daily liver support ritual. Why? Because your liver is a heat-dependent organ. It requires steady warmth to produce enzymes, metabolize fats, and mobilize toxins through bile. When your core gets cold, especially your lower belly circulation slows, lymph stagnates, and detox halts. But when you insulate the abdomen and apply gentle warmth, your internal organs stay active, relaxed, and functionally alive. A 2022 physiological study from Tohoku University showed that participants who wore cotton or wool haramaki wraps around the liver region for 8 hours a day showed increased hepatic blood flow, better digestion, lower cortisol levels, and improved overnight liver enzyme clearance. Think of it as passive liver therapy. The Japanese don't view warmth as just comfort. It's medicine. In fact, Kampo doctors often prescribe haramaki to people with cold liver symptoms, fatigue, poor circulation, sluggish digestion, and irritability. Belly wrapping helps move blood toward the liver and stimulates thermogenesis, which in turn improves bile fluidity. This also boosts lymphatic drainage from the gut, where nearly 70% of your immune system resides. Want to try it? You don't need a special product. A long cotton scarf or towel works fine. Wrap it snugly around your abdomen, directly over your liver, and wear it under your clothes at home, during sleep, or even while working. Add a hot water bottle before bed for deeper warming. Within days, you'll notice better bowel movements, less bloating, warmer hands and feet, and a calmer nervous system. The West tries to detox with ice baths. Japan does it with heat, softness, and blood flow to the organs that need it most. Your liver doesn't need punishment. It needs warmth. 7. They do daily Tanden breathing to reset the liver's stress hormones. Here's something radical. Your liver isn't just affected by what you eat. It's directly controlled by how you breathe. In Japan, one of the most deeply embedded daily rituals taught in martial arts, meditation, and Kampo healing is called Tanden breathing, a practice that focuses on deep abdominal inhales centered at a point just below the navel. Why there? Because that spot, the Tanden, or hara, is considered the body's energy center, home of your gut instincts, immune strength, and yes, liver regulation. This isn't woo-woo, it's biology. The liver is intricately tied to the vagus nerve, the main highway between brain and gut. When you breathe deeply into the belly, especially with long, slow exhales, you stimulate the vagus nerve and shift the body into parasympathetic mode, where detox, digestion, and cellular repair happen. A 2023 Japanese study, published in Autonomic Physiology Quarterly, found that participants practicing 10 minutes of Tanden breathing, twice daily, showed improved HRV, heart rate variability, lower cortisol, and enhanced liver mitochondrial function, measured by ATP output in blood tests. That's energy production inside the liver cells, driven by breath alone. In Japan, Tanden breathing is often done first thing in the morning, or before meals, with the hands placed gently over the lower belly. The inhale is slow, through the nose, expanding the abdomen, not the chest. The exhale is even slower, through pursed lips. They don't rush it. They let the breath massage the liver from the inside, moving the diaphragm like a slow hydraulic pump. Over time, this reduces inflammation, stabilizes blood sugar, and even improves bile flow, all because the liver no longer thinks it's under attack. Want to try it? Sit still. Breathe in for 4. Hold for 2. Exhale for 6. Focus your awareness just below the belly button. Do this for 5 minutes before meals or bed. Your gut will calm, your heartbeat will slow, and your liver finally gets the signal that it's safe to heal. The Japanese understand that detox isn't just food, it's how you breathe. 6. They make miso-based liver pastes with yuzu, garlic, and ginger. This one is delicious, powerful, and completely unique to Japan's rural kitchens. I'm talking about miso-based liver pastes, savory spreads, made by blending fermented miso with yuzu peel, raw garlic, grated ginger, and sometimes sesame or plum vinegar. These aren't condiments. They're medicinal food tools, designed to be eaten in small doses with rice, pickled vegetables, or even just hot water as a broth. And they work directly on the liver. First, Miso itself is a fermented soybean paste, loaded with probiotics, enzymes, and amino acids that support gut health and phase 2 liver detoxification, especially glutathione production. Now combine that with raw garlic, rich in allicin, ginger, a liver circulation stimulant, and yuzu, a citrus packed with liver-specific flavonoids, like hesperidin and naringin, and what you get is a biochemical bomb of detox support. A 2022 clinical analysis from the Japanese Institute of Nutritional Therapy found that daily intake of miso paste mixtures containing citrus and garlic components reduced liver fat by 35%, improved cholesterol markers, and enhanced gallbladder motility within 4 weeks. These pastes are eaten mindfully, not mindlessly. Just a teaspoon at a time, stirred into rice or tea, or spread thinly on pickled radish slices. Some families age these pastes in jars for weeks, letting the compounds concentrate. Others make them fresh daily and serve them at breakfast. This is the opposite of a sugar-packed energy bar or a processed liver cleanse powder. It's real food, real flavor, and real results. You can make your own right now. Mix 1 tablespoon of white miso with grated garlic, ginger, a splash of yuzu juice or vinegar, and a dash of sesame oil. Store in a jar. Use a little every day. You'll feel it better bile, clearer energy, smoother digestion. Japan doesn't rely on capsules. They blend therapy into their meals. And these liver pastes are a masterclass in functional detox cuisine. 5. They dry their dishes outside, in the sun to kill mold and cleanse energy. Now here's one that'll stop you in your tracks. In traditional Japanese homes, dishes and cookware are often dried outside, under sunlight, not just to sanitize, but to detox. This is more than just an old habit. It's a bioactive purification ritual that targets one of the liver's most under-recognized enemies, mycotoxins. Mold spores and their byproducts, like aflatoxin, are carcinogenic, hepatotoxic compounds that sneak into your system through food, storage containers, damp sponges, and yes, kitchen tools that never fully dry. Japan solves this with a simple practice: sun drying. The UV rays from natural sunlight don't just kill bacteria, they neutralize mycotoxins, according to a 2023 study from Kyoto's Environmental Biochemistry Unit, which showed that 3 hours of full-spectrum sun exposure reduced surface mold and mycotoxin load on cutting boards and ceramic dishes by up to 88%. That's a number you can't ignore. And there's a second layer to this. Traditional Japanese belief holds that sunlight purifies energy, especially stagnant energy associated with decay, illness, or grief. Dishes, chopsticks, and even cooking pots are placed on outdoor racks to dry, facing the morning sun. This practice is called high-yoke sun cleansing, and it's seen as a way to reset your environment's biology and mood before the next meal. And biologically? They're right. Sun-dried cookware carries fewer endotoxins, less humidity, fewer gut-irritating spores. That's direct liver protection. Want to try it? After washing your dishes, skip the drying towel. Lay them out on a clean rack in the sun for 15-30 minutes. Even through a window, UVA and UVB rays can do their work. Your kitchen will feel fresher. Your food will be safer. And your liver? Less burdened by invisible enemies. Detox isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's sunlight, silence, and air. Japan still gets that, and they live longer because of it. 4. They eat their biggest meal at lunch and give the liver time to rest. This one might seem counterintuitive, but it's one of the most important detox habits in all of Japan, and one we've completely inverted in the West. In Japan, especially among the elderly, monks, and people recovering from illness, it's common practice to eat the largest meal of the day at noon, not at dinner. Why? Because this is when the liver and digestive system are naturally most active, and the circadian rhythms of the liver align with daylight metabolism, not nighttime repair. A 2023 study out of Osaka Prefecture's Chronobiology Research Center confirmed this ancient intuition. People who consumed their highest calorie meal at lunchtime showed better liver enzyme levels, more stable insulin response, and improved nighttime detox markers like glutathione production and bile salt recycling compared to those eating the same meal at night. The difference? Timing. In Japan, lunch is respected. It's often homemade, balanced with miso, rice, protein, and pickles, and consumed without stress or distraction. Dinner, on the other hand, is smaller, lighter, and eaten at least 3 hours before bed, giving the liver a full window to shift gears from digestion to detox. When you eat late at night, your liver has to divide its energy between processing food and cleaning the blood. But if dinner is small, and the big work was done at midday, your body can move into deep repair, clearing old hormones, toxins, and inflammatory byproducts with precision. Want to try it? Shift your calorie intake, gradually make lunch your full meal, with real protein, fermented veggies, and cooked grains. Keep dinner brothy, simple, or even just miso and greens. Within days, you'll feel less bloated in the morning, sleep more deeply, and see skin and energy shifts that no supplement has ever given you. Detox isn't about deprivation. It's about timing your nourishment to match your liver's natural rhythm. Japan has been doing it right for centuries. 3. They grow and live among phytoncide-rich forests. Natural liver air therapy. Let's get something straight. The Japanese don't just detox through food. They detox through the air they breathe. You've probably heard of forest bathing, or Shinrin-yoku. But most people don't understand that the forests of Japan literally emit medicinal compounds that are now clinically shown to support liver function, lower inflammation, and increase detox enzyme activity. These compounds are called phytoncides, natural essential oils, released by trees like cedar, hinoki cypress, pine, and beech. And breathing them in doesn't just relax you. It activates NK, natural killer cells, increases antioxidant activity, and according to a 2022 Tokyo Environmental Immunology study, raises levels of superoxide dismutase and catalase key detox enzymes used by the liver to clear oxidative waste. In simpler terms, Japan's trees help clean your liver. But this isn't a one-off spa treatment. In rural Japan and temple regions, homes are built from detoxifying woods, like hinoki and sugi, which continue releasing phytoncides long after harvest. Japanese families walk forest paths in the morning, hang out laundry in wooded courtyards, even air out futons under the forest canopy. It's daily. It's unconscious. It's built into the way they live. This is why Japanese environmental medicine considers the home an extension of the detox system. Air quality isn't just about PM2.5. It's about biologically active, liver-supporting aromatic compounds that you inhale effortlessly. Want to try it? Take a 20-minute walk near pine, cedar, or cypress trees. No phone, no headphones, just breath. Or use real hinoki essential oil, not fragrance, in a diffuser while you rest. Better yet, Keep houseplants or wooden decor made from untreated cedar. Even that emits trace phytoncides. Your breath is a detox pathway. Japan never forgot that. And the more tree oils you breathe in, the lighter your liver's chemical load becomes without lifting a finger. 2. They honor silence during liver hours between 1 and 3 a.m. Here's where Japanese detox habits get deeply spiritual and also biologically brilliant. In traditional Japanese wellness and Kampo medicine, there's a sacred window called Kon no Jikan, the liver's peak energy hours between 1 and 3 a.m. During this time, according to both Eastern medicine and modern chronobiology, the liver undergoes its deepest phase of blood filtration, hormonal recycling, and tissue repair. What do the Japanese do during this window? Nothing. And that's the point. There's a national respect for stillness, especially overnight. No late-night TV, no emails, no social media loops. In many traditional homes, phones are turned off, meals are finished early, and the bedroom is dark, cool, and quiet. And science backs this up. A 2023 study at Kyoto's Institute for Circadian Biology tracked individuals who consistently had deep sleep during this 1-3 a.m. window and found that their bile acid ratios, cortisol slopes, and nighttime glucose regulation were significantly better than those exposed to light or stimulation during the same hours. Detox wasn't just improved, it was precise. This is why monks in Japanese temples go to bed before 9 p.m. It's not about being old-fashioned. It's about honoring the liver's need for total nervous system withdrawal. The Japanese treat those 2 hours like holy ground for the body. And here's what most people miss. Even light exposure during this window, like scrolling your phone, can suppress melatonin, which indirectly reduces the liver's ability to activate detox genes and antioxidant pathways. Want to implement this? Start winding down by 9:30 p.m. Dim your lights. No screens after 10. Be in bed by 11. Let your body enter deep, undisturbed sleep by 1 a.m. And let those 2 hours work for you. The Japanese don't detox harder. They detox smarter. And they've known for centuries that silence is not just golden, it's medicinal. Especially for your liver. 1. They live by the art of intentional empty space that lets the liver breathe. This is it. The final and most powerful liver detox habit in all of Japan, and it has nothing to do with food, drink, or supplements. It's about how they live. It's the practice of a concept that means intentional emptiness, the space between things. It shows up in architecture, music, conversation, art, but it also shows up in daily life rhythms that let the body, and especially the liver, process what's already there before more is added. This is crucial. In the West, we fill every gap. Every moment is packed more input, more stimulation, more food, more obligations. The liver? It's constantly overloaded, trying to digest, filter, clean, and survive without ever getting a break. But in Japan, is sacred. There are pauses between meals, gaps between conversation, days between heavy meals, seasons between celebrations, space between sounds. And biologically, that space is where detox happens. A 2023 neurological liver axis study from Keio University found that people who practiced daily empty time, no task, no noise, no stimulation for just 15 minutes a day, had lower cortisol, higher glutathione, and better phase 2 detox efficiency on blood panels taken after meals. Let that sink in. Doing nothing helped their liver do everything better. Japanese culture, trains people to befriend emptiness. Even tea ceremonies are 90% silence. Meals are eaten without rushing. Phones aren't brought to the table. Meals in how they move, how they speak, and how they recover. Want to detox like the Japanese? Don't just take things out of your diet. Take them out of your schedule. Give your liver space to exhale. Try a meal with no TV, a walk with no podcast, a night with no screen, 15 minutes a day of intentional nothing. That's That's the real medicine. Because your liver isn't just filtering food. It's filtering sound, stress, memory, emotion. And if there's no pause, there's no processing. Japan knows that the most powerful detox isn't an action, it's a space you protect. You don't need a $200 cleanse. You don't need another supplement. You need what Japan's had for centuries: consistency, rhythm, and habits that work. Your liver doesn't care how much you spend. It cares whether you give it time to recover, the right food to process toxins, and the space to do its job. Because let me be brutally honest, your energy, your skin, your sleep, your digestion, your brain fog, it all comes back to the liver. And right now, most people are living with a toxic backlog that's slowing them down and slowly wrecking their health. The Japanese figured it out: 25 habits that don't just support the liver, they rebuild it, one day at a time. Pick just 3 of these and stick with them for a week. You'll feel it. Now, if you learned something today, hit that like button so this gets in front of someone who needs it. Share it with your sister, your dad, your friend who always says they're tired but fine. And if you want more real health strategies that actually work, no fluff, no trends, subscribe and turn on the bell. Your liver's already working for you. Now it's time you return the favor.